This is a big fat lie. Oh, it's gonna hit a tree. Oh, it's totally crashed. Totally crashed. This is supposed to be the most crash-proof drone of the bunch. That is not the case.
Good morning! What's going on, everybody? Today we're heading to George's house to play with some toys.
Welcome back to the lab. Today we are at my house and we have a truck bed full of drones that we are just going to experiment with. This isn't really a review. It's more, let's see what these things can do and which ones we like best. Before charge. Holy cow, they're all charged. This is unbelievable. This must mean that Tony's had his paws on this thing, because if it were me, these would not all be charged. So this is the DJI Avata 2, which is your standard generic FPV drone made more idiot-proof by DJI. So it's an FPV drone that is theoretically harder to crash, more durable. We'll see if we can run it into stuff and see how it does. Doo-doo-doo.
Now this is when you look kind of funky. This is the future. Everybody's gonna be walking around with these on. This one has, just like a lot of the virtual headsets, this one has little cameras that face outwards.
It does? What are they for?
Damn!
Oh, whoa, so I can like walk around?
You can see what you're doing now.
Oh, that's cool. How'd you do that?
Heck.
See, I would just go like this. Unlike Tony, I have to sit down or at least like lean on something. Doesn't have GPSs yet, but it was giving me an error that said impact detected. I guess from when I smacked it. More durable.
That wasn't very nice. You're not supposed to smack it. How's the view?
View is fine.
Fly through the trees.
There's no obstacle avoidance on these, is there?
You are the avoidance obstacle sensor. If you see a tree in front of you, what should you do?
Whoa.
So he's controlling everything with the control sticks here. The drone is somewhere way over there down the street, up and down. And then he sees what the drone is seeing.
Whoa.
These goggles make you look like you have eyes facing me.
It says I'm 1 foot off, or it says I'm 1 meter off the ground. All right, so we're gonna test obstacle avoidance. Nope, it doesn't avoid obstacles. But it is saying impact detected. It says collision detected. Check propellers carefully. If propellers are damaged.
Propellers look good. It looks like it's ready to fly. So yesterday we flew the DJI FPV, the first drone, which has open exposed props, and this is the clip from yesterday's video. Now we're gonna test out the DJI FPV, and this one has the drone, the controller, goggles for first person view, so it feels like you're inside it flying. Some people get a little motion sickness. I seem to handle it fine. I could stand, I could sit.
Or stand up, or sit down on that chair and stand.
Then it also has a motion controller. I personally don't fly with this. I don't really like the way it flies with this.
Trevor loves it.
Some people like it, and actually a lot of people that have never flown drones get used to this quicker than using a controller. So every drone takes a little bit different procedures to start. Some are like the Neo, where it's like boop boop, you're flying and it takes off and does what it needs to do. Others are setup. There's setup, and different stages have different setups. Some are pretty easy, some have more things to connect to, and a lot of times you're like, oh no, another update. Which I spent a lot of time last night updating all these drones. I think we're good. So like the other drones, what's cool about DJI drones and most other drones that have GPS is they will hover. Literally hands off, they will hover. And this one flies pretty similar to most of the other drones, except it has a little bit more punch. So here we go. Cruising the coastline on Lake Michigan. As you can see, the waves are crazy.
Oof. So cold. Woo.
The shake is like none other, and that shake is from the wind. Going away from us, or going towards the city, I should say, it's cruising like crazy. Coming back this way, not so much. The wind is crazy. All right, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back out and around and this way.
Perfect. So this is the DJI Neo, which is, I think, $199, not I think, $199. It is $199. Basically a selfie stick. We're gonna test out and see if it'll actually follow me.
Follow.
So that's follow mode.
Medium. Follow. 3, 2, 1.
All right, so I hope it sees me.
So right now it's following him.
Let's see how fast I can go.
It's following him down.
It doesn't go fast enough.
It doesn't go fast enough.
Slow, it's too slow.
Gotta go fast.
He is literally hands off. The drone is following him the whole entire time.
So for 199 bucks, it followed me pretty well. It'll do droney shots and really easy stuff. You can actually get a remote controller for this, and this thing is not gonna break. It's totally protected and came with extra propellers, and I doubt you'll ever need them. This thing's pretty cool. Not bad for 200 bucks. So this is Hover's version of the Neo. I should really say that the Neo is DJI's version of this. This is more like a Skydio knockoff. It's better at following, it's higher speed, it's incredibly compact. So it's currently in orbit mode. Bird's eye, dolly track, hover, zoom out, and we're gonna do follow again. We'll see if this guy will follow me.
Middle. Follow.
All right. Let's see how well you do, Mr. Hover. All right, Mr. Hover, you ready? This one seems to follow me a little bit better and a little bit faster.
This one definitely tracks you a lot better.
Yeah.
It looks really precise compared to the Neo.
Woo. All right, ready? Let's land. Land.
5 feet. Zoom out.
I want to do more than 5 feet, but. Hello, how are you?
So what's nice about this is you could keep this in your pocket, in your jacket pocket.
Yeah.
And it's a great grab and grow, grab and go drone.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
It's
This
super
is
nice,
this
super
is the newest version of this. which I believe this one's like $3.99 maybe. They had a previous version, which I really liked, which was a little bit smaller. You can see these two guys. This one was tiny. This one's much faster and
higher quality video and stuff.
Yeah.
But in the terms of everything, this one also does have some avoidance cameras.
Yep. And just like the other stuff.
And it could bump into the walls and nothing happens.
These guys are good. So then, those are the dummy drones. Then we'll get into the ones that you actually have to fly / they will do active track and follow me, and we'll test that out to see how fast it'll follow you. But yeah, so this is the DJI Air 3S, which is the latest and greatest from DJI. This is the old version of it. This is the DJI Air 3. The biggest difference between that and this is this has LiDAR. Actually, they claim will let you do obstacle avoidance at night. We'll see. But it's got 2 cameras, 4K, obstacle avoidance all over the thing. 2 cameras here, 2 cameras here, 2 cameras here, and then 2 main cameras. Let's see how this guy goes. This guy's got his own remote with a screen. You can wear goggles with it, which is pretty cool. Or locked in with its home. Fire it up. And if you look here on the screen, let's see if I try and pull it backwards towards me, it will not go. If I try and crash it into my wife's car, it will not crash into the car. So hear all these beeping, it's going berserk because I'm close to stuff. And if we take off and go up, let's go up, 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 up. Oh, there's a tree that it won't let me fly into. Look at this view we're gonna get. These things really are amazing.
And from here, I can't even hear it.
So now, here's one of the cool things about all these drones. I'm literally, let's say I've lost control of it, I can't figure stuff out, I'm losing my mind, I drank too much, whatever. I push this button and say, return to home.
Return to home.
Look.
And it gives you a little artificial line that it's showing you where it's gonna go to come back home.
And we should say it's at 75% battery with 26 minutes left.
And it's literally flying the path that he just flew.
So one of the nice things about this drone and the other Mavics is that they have, let's see if it'll fly into that tree branch. Oh, it was close. That was pretty close. Tree branches without leaves are kind of their hardest thing. Trees with leaves are much better. That's really weird how it's flying back exactly what I did. I wonder
That's a
if
setting.
that's some setting.
Yeah, that's a setting.
Did you see what it said? Complex environment.
So normally you can change the settings. Originally, return to home would go up to a set height. So usually I set mine to about 400 feet, and it would go up, more than likely clearing all trees. The only thing it won't clear if the building's higher than 400 feet. Usually have all my drones set up at 400 feet up, and then it comes in a nice straight path back. But this one now has a feature that you could turn on, that it will follow the exact flight path you took to come back home. So that could be a little sketchy sometimes, and you'll see in the recording that it went through some branches to get back here. But
the auto return to home is actually set to 328 feet. But now what we should do is test its follow me mode to see if it does any better.
as you can see, good to go. Let's see what it does. following him.
I wonder if it's following me. Whoa, trees. Oh, it's gonna hit a tree. Oh, it's totally crashed. Totally crashed. Lame, 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 lame. This is supposed to be the most crash-proof drone of the bunch, and clearly it has just proved that that is not the case.
No! No! No!
What a load of doo-doo. Literally, there's like doo-doo on the camera. Totally crashed. I wonder if it's the no leaves thing or what, but the minute it started going backwards, you could tell it was gonna go straight into those trees. This is a big fat lie. For the amount of money that they charge for this thing, which is a whole lot, it should not have backed into that tree. And you can see this propeller's broken, this propeller's broken, this propeller's broken. The funny thing is it'll fly fine with these broken propellers. Really, really, really disappointed.
And that was a simple task. It didn't have to do much, and it just backed right into the tree.
Yeah, look at all that mud. That's a bunch of garbage.
Broken props.
Luckily, it comes with extra props.
But I wouldn't trust this to follow you, in my opinion.
For what I've used this for in the past, these other drones, like off-roading in Sand Hollow and stuff, where it's, you know, I'm just trying to get it to follow the car or something big like that without the trees. This is fine, but I would have told you before today that you were fine flying in the trees with this thing, and I've totally been proved wrong.
On to the next.
One of the things I forgot to mention, whether it's an Air or a Mavic 3, whichever, even the Mavic Minis, you can get cheap Chinese throw devices for them where you can hook a fishing line is the most common thing, and you fly the drone out instead of casting it out, and you can fly out with the camera looking straight down. You'll see people actually in Florida doing tuna fishing with it. I've used it to drop water balloons, whatever, stupid stuff, but they all do it, but obviously the bigger the drone, the more line you can carry out. These two guys, this is a DJI Mini 3 Pro, which I think they still sell. I'm gonna look it up. So the DJI Mini 4 Pro is 750 bucks. We'll play with this one. The Mini 4K, which has no obstacle avoidance, is 300 bucks. The Mini 3, which has up to 51 minutes of flight time, baloney, but it'll fly for half an hour, no problem, is about 500 bucks. Also, one of the big advantages with them is they're incredibly lightweight. They technically skirt all the FAA rules because they're 249 grams. And so you don't have to have all the licensing and blah, blah, blah. You'll see this one has rear sensors and front sensors, but it's so light. If you check out our video where we hooked up a drone to a flamethrower.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something.
You'll see, like, literally we charred the propellers off. The crazy thing though is, I bet you anything, if we change the props, they'll fly just like new. And it was still flying. Amazing piece of kit for the price and for the amount of space it takes up. This is literally, this bag has 4 batteries in it, a remote controller with the screen and the drone. We'll boot it up and see how this one flies.
I don't know about you, but I've taken this one on vacation, and actually people think it's really cute.
Yeah, it's kind of like with a Tesla, when you go whipping past somebody in a Tesla and you're not making any noise, like, you know, a Dodge Demon or something like that, and they don't seem to get as mad when you're whipping past them. But this one, same thing. Let's see how loud this guy gets.
So as you can hear, it's a very slight hum, which is nice.
And you can see it's doing the same doodads as the last one, where it says, you know, how far down it is, how far up it is. It shows where our home point is. active track. So this will theoretically follow me. Oh no, it just switched to Tony. Now it's switched to me. Oh look, it's gonna fly backwards into something. Are you gonna crash into a tree? Oh look, it went down. It's going around the trees. So this one for 700 bucks does better than that one for 1,700 bucks. That's very telling, because I could have sworn that the Mavic Air would have been way better, and I cannot honestly tell you to buy the Air. Rah. Rah. That test, although totally unscientific, blows me away that the Mavic 3 Super Air doesn't do as well as this guy did, which shows you that it's probably more software than hardware. Very, very interesting. So this is the last of the consumer drones. We've got a Mavic 3 Cine that we're going to show you, which is supposed to be the cat's meow. It does take infinitely better video, and then we'll show you a super professional drone just because it's fun, and then show you what an enterprise drone does.
All right, so now that George handed it off to me, we're gonna show you the bigger stuff. We have the ProCine and the regular Mavic 3 Pro. The little difference between them is mainly this one shoots ProRes and it has a 1 terabyte hard drive built in because of the ProRes. But we're gonna fly this one. They fly the exact same. There's no differences between that. So let's take this one out and see how it flies. And let's take it off.
You're gonna hit the trees?
Nope. Ooh, and the colors of the trees look really nice right now. And the range on these, pretty much across all the ones that we just flew, the rest of the DJI drones have incredible range. Very minimal breakup, especially in high dense areas of Wi-Fi and cellular service. So, and the quality back to the controller is amazing. It's like watching a TV show. This one is following him right now, as you can see.
All right, let's see how well she follows me. I bet you Tony's flying it now. Did it follow me that whole time, or were you hand flying it?
No, I'm not hand flying it at all. It loses you, but then it like tracks.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And stop. I don't know where it was going, but it was going.
That was pretty crazy.
I would say active track and DJI just doesn't get along very well.
Oh, ah! I'm so big in the screen. I did have a Skydio. I've had it crash twice. Once when I was going to visit Bleep and Matt at Windrock, it hit a power line that was going across the road. So it literally just happened to be exactly at that height, which is crazy because it was just bad luck, because nothing's going to skip a power line except for one of these drones that we have. I've also had it get stuck where it kind of went into a tree and then it didn't know how to get itself out of the tree, and I didn't have the remote to fly it out of the tree.
Yay!
This is Tony's baby.
So I have a love-hate relationship with this one. I love everything about it except the price. It's not the most expensive drone you can buy on the market, especially for what it does, but it is the most capable for the money compared to the drones that it compares to.
What kind of money are you talking about?
So this one, all said and done, is about $30,000 with tax.
What did you say?
That's nuts.
I don't even have as many accessories as you can have for this one, but I do have most of them. And as you see, It's a very big drone. And this is not even all put together. There's spots for chargers, there's spots for batteries, the drone, the camera, and a nice feature with this one, 4 different lens options. One is already on the camera. Full frame, raw video. Don't know what raw 8K footage is. Look it up. It's like very muted colors. You can do all the editing and color grading after you are done. We will show you how it flies. So this one has 2 controllers, and one is for pilot and one is for camera operator. So the difference between this drone and all the other drones is one person flies and the other person operates the camera that's hanging underneath. What's cool about that is you can do chase shots, follow shots, which you can do with the other ones too, but these you could get a little bit more technical, a little tighter in areas, and do a little bit more advanced moves than the rest. Take off. This is definitely not as quiet. It has a much bigger noise profile. But what's cool about this one is it has landing gear that goes up and out of the way of the camera. It has a very nice flying characteristic about it. All right, here we go. And see what it looks like. So right now I'm flying fully off of the first person view camera, and what's nice about this one is you can have a second operator controlling the camera, like George, and now he is controlling and panning the camera while I'm flying. So say we were following a car, or we were trying to cut through trees and follow a building through the trees. We could do a lot more complex type shots.
Well, you can tilt the gimbal, which is a big difference.
Yes, you can tilt the gimbal to give it like a cool like look. Sometimes we do like push-in shots where it gives you that like twist effect. So let's drop down. Let's go see. Get a little breakup. Won't penetrate the ground. Because try gonna go drop down there. Isn't it wild though? I mean, you're controlling that. You're just paying attention to, oh, I want to get a shot of this, or I want to grab a shot of that. And the whole time I am flying, and what I see is I see this, and I see both cameras. So I see my camera, which is the big one on the screen, and I see what George is shooting, which is the main camera. And like right now I'm just hovering, George is looking up and around. Now he's looking at the drone. Going back down. This one makes a lot more noise, and people definitely get like, what is that? Why are you flying that over my property? So let's bring it back. Wow, but what's cool about this one is it gives me the best of both worlds. I get to shoot awesome footage, but I also get to like experience
listen to how loud that guy is. It's how many feet up is it right now?
130.
So 130 feet up, and like if I were in my swimming pool, I would be mad as hell that somebody was flying a drone over me.
That's in normal mode, and this is in sport.
That's crazy how loud it is. She's a loud one, Mr. Grinch. So this one is called the Matrice 350. It's an enterprise drone. Most people use it for is photogrammetry with a really high resolution camera, which is basically where you take a whole ton of pictures and it turns into a 3D image. And then there's also a lot of people who use it with this, which is called LiDAR, which is light reflecting and something or other. But basically, this can 3D scan something with centimeter precision from 300 feet up. The reason why we got this drone was to scan Sand Hollow and to prove to the world that off-road vehicles didn't cause damage to the land. But this guy is a beast. Oop, hold on. It's like origami.
They definitely knew how to squeeze this into a case.
This is where you can put a camera, the LiDAR. It actually can have cameras on the top. It also has this crazy gizmo, which you can attach on the top here. And this is actually radar. And with this, it will actually not hit telephone wires and electrical wires. It's actually made for inspections and stuff. So we're just gonna fly this thing really to hear how ridiculously loud it is. This, just like the Inspire, has an FPV camera. You can see so I actually can see something here. You can see Tony.
Aircraft entered altitude zone.
So let's go to 130 feet. So we're now at the same height as the Inspire was, and that's how loud it is. It's ridiculous. It sounds like a little baby helicopter.
Yeah, so this one's not really meant for video. It's meant for doing mapping. You can also do search and rescue. This one,
yeah, actually, the other day there was a man right at the beach that we've just filmed. They still haven't found, but they looked for him with a drone and a helicopter. The Coast Guard was there. It was very sad. It's got a nice sound to it as far as being super annoying, but...
this one's a little bit more nerve-wracking to fly, mainly because of the price.
Which is why I just flew it without the camera and without the LiDAR, because just each camera is about 10 grand. So this way, if I crashed it... Bottom line, what do we think about these drones? We were gonna nerd out and show you things like, oh, look at the color grading and blah, blah, blah. And we decided that that was stupid. Lots of people have done that. So really, the best drone is exactly the same as the best camera, which is the one you have with you, which means the Mini, you bring it with you and it's always there. You got this MERS that you can wear and literally have it with you all the time. Doesn't matter if you crash it, you can afford to get a new one, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, thanks for tolerating us, and we'll see you next time.